Let's talk about the boundaries, because that's the one thing that we're talking about a lot. We have seen a lot of them, especially in Sharjah. We also saw a lot of them the other day in the Super Over game with Bangalore and Mumbai. But let's have a look at how the three grounds have been doing. How Rajasthan has been doing over the last 3 seasons. And see, there may be one right now, but if you look at the last 2 years, right? I mean, this is what we're talking about. This is what we're saying, is that it can, Joy, perhaps give a false sense of confidence.
No, absolutely. Absolutely, I fully agree. And in fact, Rajasthan's field is exactly like Dubai. Big side boundaries, huge south boundaries. Why? Because Shane Warne started off there. And Shane Warne, the first day they tried to bring it in, Shane Warne says, you dare not. He's a leggy. He's not going to have this field bought in. So, you have these huge side boundaries. And I think they will take it and they'll say, this is a different type of game. We can't play the game we played against the last time and won. It's not going to happen. The way Rajasthan won against Kings 11, that's not going to happen. A different game, a different result. You'll probably see Tewatia not sent out the way he was. Yeah. And I just want to tell you one more thing. Apparently on social media, the Rajasthan Royals put out a tweet saying that if you want Tewatia and Archer to open, please retweet this at least 3,000 times. Now, there are 5,000 and retweets 5,000. And counting. My point is 4,000 of them will be KKR supporters. He said, let's go do that.
I think there's definitely been a Sharjah effect. The 2 games being played there gets them as number 1. And as Joy mentioned, in the other seasons, the big field that they play on tends to suggest that they won't get that many boundaries. But talking about Tewatia, I don't think there'll be anyone in the whole RPL where people are following him for this next knock. We were so engrossed by what happened in the last game where he couldn't hit it off the square and then he hit it so far off the square. What is his next innings going to bring? So I really do hope he gets the opportunity to get to the crease tonight. I don't think he'll come at 4, but I hope he gets there and then we can try and get a bit of a balanced outlook. It should be fantastic.
Can I tell you, I have a conspiracy theory about it. If he wasn't 8 of 19 balls, if he had just played 4 or 5 balls and then hit Cottrell for 5 6s, which is a great task in itself, I don't think it would have been a story. I don't think it would have been the story it is now. I think it is just the turnaround. It is just everybody for those 15 minutes pulling their hair out and saying, what is going on here? And then trying to stitch their hair back. Harsha's not around, right? He always picks me for this job. Sort of stitch it sort of back in. And this is what he did. This is what he said after the game. And listen, you can't blame anyone for calling it how they did in the first 15 minutes because he's saying it himself. He's saying that was the worst first 20 balls I've ever played. I'm saying that he probably means that's the worst 20 balls he's ever played. First or last, right? In his career, and I hope it never happens to him again. He's been hitting the ball very good in the nets. We know that. He's got domestic 50 and 16, 17 balls or something. I've seen him in the Delhi Capitals nets last year, hitting the long ball. He says, I saw the dugout. Everybody was curious because they know I can hit the ball. It was just a matter of 1-6, and after that, I got going. But, I mean, he got to a point, Paulie, where that was a deep, deep hole.
I think that word "curious" is the biggest understatement of all time. Everyone was flabbergasted as to say, "What is going on? What did they see in this guy?" I mean, we didn't know much about him. The fact that he says there that he was still backing himself is also interesting because I think there was very few people who were, and even on his face, it looked like he was a bit of a deer in the headlights. Didn't know what quite to do. Yeah. The commentators were calling for something that's never happened before, for someone to be retired, just in case to get a new man in. And then what a change of events. I mean, I still can't believe it. I think it's one of those stories. I mean, it's the biggest Jekyll and Hyde innings I've ever seen.
I know you've been calling it Jekyll and Hyde for a few days, and it's exactly that. It really is. Joy.
We used the exact same term, and best part of it was the muffled sound that you heard from the commentary booth after that. That was all the foots in the mouths, stuck out there with that was the muffled sound coming from the commentary. You can't call it any other way. I mean, they called it right. It's just that the fan turned the game on its head.
Yeah, it really did. I mean, they can't. The fact is, as a cricket fan, you look there and you go, man, I'm just feeling bad for what's happening. I hope he can hit a couple of sixes and turn it around. He, of course, did much better than that.